Hey, what's up, everyone? This is Mr. Riley coming to you live from the West Coast, the best coast. What's cracking, y'all? How you feeling? Coming to you live from the West Side. Today I have someone special on my live stream today. Let me just turn the music down just a tad. Someone very special. I'll call him Uncle Al, right? I don't know how he got the name Uncle Al because he's not my uncle. But people refer to him as Uncle Al. And so, you probably have seen me kind of repping, talking about the West Coast, the best coast, the West Side. Well, he has something that he's kind of coined called West Coast Wednesdays. And so we're going to kind of talk about that. So we're going to introduce the originator of West Coast Wednesdays, my good friend. And, we call him Uncle Al. Al, how you feeling, man?
Yeah. Man. Man, bless. So how I got Uncle Al, man, I gave myself that. It's like Kobe gave himself the Black Mamba. It was at the youth extravaganza, man. The first time I spoke at you the one who asked me to speak at the youth extravaganza.
Okay.
So that was the introduction of Uncle Al. It just came to me, man. I was like, man, just call me Uncle Al. And so the youth, man, who are now, man, in their 30s.
Absolutely.
It stuck with a lot of it stuck with a lot of them, man. So that's how Uncle Al came to be, man. Thanks to you. See, look at that connection.
Had no idea.
Right?
No idea. So yeah, back in the day, when I was a young whippersnapper, I used to, kind of help, the youth, young people in my congregation. And so, we had these events that we would do kind of quarterly. And so that's what, Uncle Al is referring to. We had what we call a youth extravaganza during the winter time, just having high school, middle school, and even college age folks just kind of come together and have some fun in the Lord, right? And so that's kind of what I grew up on, and I was used to that. And, as Uncle Alvin, I'm not calling you Uncle, as Alvin said, that,
hey,
man. I was instrumental, so I had no idea where that came from.
Yep.
So
100%. So yeah, that's the connection.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir.
Man. Well, hey, I'm glad that you joined me, that you can join me on this wonderful day. So let me just kind of tell you what's going on, Al. I'm trying to do something maybe 8 episodes of just, West Coast folks, right? Put in my bio, lawmakers, professional folks, and just even down home folks. And I kind of consider you a jack of all trades, man, because you're just all over the map.
I am. You're right. I'm definitely all over the map. I need to zone in, but I think God has positioned me that way, man, for a reason, to be able to, navigate through different spaces. I think we all need to be connected somehow, some way. So, yeah, definitely, I'm everywhere, but God got me in all those spaces, bro.
Absolutely. So, before we move any further, man, let's just kind of, why don't you tell the folks who you are and kind of what you do, and then we'll just let the conversation go from there, man.
All right, bet. So, I'm Alvin Edington Jr., man, affectionately known as Uncle Al, West Coast Alvin, Pokey, preacher, minister. Who am I, man? Man, my foundation is definitely God, man. I'm a child of God, unapologetically. And even though sometimes it may not seem like it because I don't cuss and nothing like that, but I'll be talking about a lot of different things in a lot of different spaces. But everybody knows my foundation is him. So I'm a associate minister at Metropolitan Church of Christ in Carson, California, under the leadership of Faith Haygood and Elder Mike Harris. I'm a life coach, a sober companion. I'm a husband, a dad of two amazing young ladies who are in college. One at Oklahoma Christian, and one at Texas Southern. They are me, right? They are the the balance of one is at Texas Southern, which is a historically black college and university, and the other one's at Oklahoma Christian, which is a PWI, and that's who
Absolutely.
I am, man. I'm in all those spaces, right?
You're all over the
And
place.
so yeah. So man, that's who I am. I'm a son. I'm a brother, man. As old as I am, man, I'm still a mama's boy, man. And man, I'm just appreciative for this opportunity, Jimmy, for real. Our connections. I mean, you don't know, like Rudy, that's your dude.
Yeah,
That's my mentor. That's my Didaskalos. He the one who brought me into the church. All
absolutely.
right. So we got that connection. You work at the school that I went through kindergarten all the way through sixth grade. I know it's at fifth
Man,
now,
yes,
but
sir.
I went there kindergarten through fifth, sixth grade. That's my school. My mom still stays across the street in the same place where what I'm saying? So we got some connections, man,
Yeah,
that I think
absolutely.
are definitely God centered, God connected this, man. So I'm looking forward to whatever we're gonna talk about, bro.
Hey man, we just gonna have some fun. Like I said, I was so let me just kind of tell you the beginning of where all this kind of started from. Um, so during the month of April, content creators usually participate in what you call VEDA, which is like video every day in April, or depending on the month, it could be August, or a LEDA, which is going live every day in April.
Mm,
And so one of the groups, one of the Facebook groups that I'm in, we have coined the term CEDA, which is basically create something every day in April. Now, I haven't been, I don't have 20 videos. I have 20 recorded
mhm,
videos. Actually, no, because
mhm,
I didn't do 19. I didn't do last night, but I have about 15 videos in my CEDA um, playlist on YouTube. And so I figured, during Wednesdays that I would go live on Wednesday and just kind of call it West Coast Wednesday, right? And
yeah,
I kind of had you in mind. And basically, what I do is on every time I hop on a live, every time, if I'm visiting, someone, I'll just throw up West Side, right? And that's kind of like my moniker for letting folks know, okay, Mr. Riley's in the house. You know what I'm saying? Mr. Riley's
yeah.
in the house. We coming to you live from the West Coast to Best Coast. And so they kind of know
Yes,
that.
sir.
And so I figured why not on Wednesdays, let's go live, on Wednesday. And so, entitled it West Coast Wednesday. So, I appreciate you
Hey, let
hopping
me.
on. And yeah, man, you looking like the Hulk over there, bruh.
Oh, am I? Oh,
Yeah,
I see that. I don't
yeah,
know what that is.
yeah.
Oh, okay, because I don't know what that is. I can hear you clearly. I see that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Uh,
But you know what? We gonna there you go. Yeah, I don't know what you had to do. Did you have to stand on one foot and kind of put your hand in the air and get the right signal?
no, man, I just moved it a little.
It's all good. It's all good.
Yeah, yeah,
You had to jerry rig it a little bit.
yeah, just a little bit, just a little bit. You know what I'm saying? You gotta work with your boy on
Hey man,
learning how to do all this stuff.
we can help you up, man. We can help you what we call level up, right?
Yes, sir.
So let's go ahead and we have a couple of people in the comments. I just want to acknowledge them. I see Facebook user. Let me just move him down just a little bit. Facebook user, but I believe that is Vince Ford. What's going on, Vince? Happy that you
Yep.
chimed in. I know that's you, and we'll talk about Vince in a little bit. And I see that he kind of tagged several people as well. So come on through, share the feed, and we're gonna have fun for about 15, 20, 30, 40 minutes. However long the
Hey,
Lord says.
hey, 40 minutes for Normandy Avenue. It sounds
Absolutely.
good to me.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So let's go ahead and just kind of talk about. I'm trying to maneuver my box here. Let's go ahead and talk about just West Coast Wednesday, man. Where did that come from?
Man, I'm into collaborations, right? So this is another reason why I love this. It's collaborative. So Vince Ford, who's on the Facebook thread, he started off with these motivational minutes on Mondays, and he called it motivational minute on Mondays. And I was like, oh, bet I'm gonna go ahead and take Wednesdays. And I'm gonna call it West Coast Wednesdays. All right, and so that's where it started. He started doing this like a 1 minute little thing to encourage people. And I was like, man, that's something that we can build on. So I'm gonna go ahead and take Wednesday, and call it West Coast Wednesdays, and we're gonna see where it goes from there. So that's how it took that's how it took form. Blame Vince Ford.
Absolutely, man. You got a whole bunch of connections, man. You just a connection guy.
West Side Connection, baby.
Absolutely, man. Someone has blown up our hearts and the thumbs up in the chat, and I appreciate you guys. Just doing what you're doing. So that's cool, man. So, and I noticed that you have different folks speak on West Coast Wednesday, and you know what? You're so good. You're so good already, Al, that you have merch already. Just kind of show us what you're wearing, man. Show us what you're wearing.
Oh man, I don't know how to. Do I have to stand up, bro?
Let me see if I can get the talk. There you go. Yes, sir.
There it is.
That's it.
West Coast Wednesday. We got they got the W over there. West Coast Wednesday. Man, that's my brother, man. So my brother, he just watches silently, and he was watching me, do the West Coast Wednesdays, and he was like, look, I came up with this idea. So, he makes T-shirts and hoodies and sweatshirts and sweaters and socks and all that kind of stuff. So he was like, look, this is what we're going to do.
Well,
And so yeah. Yes, sir. Represent. The West Side's the best side. Yes, sir. I gotta get that one. I don't have that one in my closet. I'm going to get that one, though. Yeah. But yeah, man, that's how it started.
No, that's what's up, man. That's cool. I mean, because you kind of, started with, you took a small idea from your brother, from Brother Vince, and just like, okay, he got motivational Mondays. Let me go ahead and do West Coast Wednesdays. And then you have all these speakers, man. I'm kind of feeling some kind of way because I haven't been asked to,
say less.
Hey,
say
now here's the thing, Al. I don't know what I would really say, but
don't worry about it.
I can look the part. You know what I'm saying? I got my West Coast T-shirt. I got the cap to match. Right?
Yes, sir. Hey, but Jimmy, you got to worry, bro. Look, say less. Like, no, so I wore this particular shirt, as people, as your audience can see. It's an autism centered shirt, right?
Absolutely.
It has the pieces, it's the puzzle pieces, and I wore it because, me, man. I'm like, Jimmy gonna have me on, man. Let me go see what he's talking about. So I go on the YouTube page. And the one that popped out to me was your classroom. And so when I saw your classroom and I saw it was centered around not just special needs, but specific towards autism, I have a nephew and a niece who are both autistic, who are on the spectrum. And we had my niece for like 4 years that we took care of her. So autism awareness for me is huge. So it's like, man, I was like, I definitely got to have you on, man, to drop a West Coast Wednesday to encourage people who may have autism, or also to encourage parents or educators who may be dealing with, kids who are on the spectrum who have their ups and downs, right? They'll have a great day, then they'll spaz out the next day, and how do you navigate that? So yeah, man, say less, man. That's a no-brainer, bro.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you got to work. Don't let me tell them I've heard you preach before. I won't even say that to everybody.
Hey, no, you know what? I think I've done that one time.
I was there.
Hey, that's not my gift. I'm serious. That is not. Now, if you want me to help you produce you want me to help you produce a live stream? Hey, I'm all in. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
but preaching, I mean, that's I let the heavyweights handle that. But I'll make you look good. I'm gonna make you look good in the pulpit.
No doubt.
And
no doubt.
Here's the best thing about it, Al. April is Autism Awareness Month, and so and I didn't bring you on here to kind of talk about why I ain't that was just kind of just poking fun, but no, definitely if whatever you need me to do, I'll go ahead and say
Facts.
something.
I already know.
Yeah,
Yeah, I already know. I already know that you like being behind the camera. I already know. Yeah, I already know. But I definitely think. See, you talking about how I have so many different voices, right?
yeah,
The way that I choose my voices is because I'm like one thing is that I'm not trying to drown people out with my voice, right? I'm realistic. I don't believe that people are going, hearken to my every word. But if you have different voices, then when my voice comes back in here and there, it's more powerful than just me speaking every time that there's a West Coast Wednesday. And so, I just randomly pick somebody, and I'm like, all right, man, you do a West Coast Wednesday, so I don't have any rhyme or reason to it. So you might get on a post and say, "Hey Al, how you doing?" I'm like, "Hey man, can you do a West Coast Wednesday?" So yeah, so that's how I even pick my people, man. There's no rhyme or reason.
absolutely,
Mostly West Coast cats though. Mostly
absolutely.
California West Coast cats do it, but once one day Vince Ford gonna hook me up and do a West Coast Wednesday.
That's right. Hey, you don't have to be from the West Coast, the best coast, to drop some knowledge on the West
That's
Coast
right.
Wednesday. So
Facts.
it's all good. It's all good. So let's go ahead and talk about, man. You're in the ministry. You talked about being a life coach. You talked about being a dad, a husband, man. Let's talk about how you kind of balance all of those, all of those hats, man. Because I find myself in the same space, balancing, picking up kids from school, going to work, coming home, having date night, going to worship service, and taking care of mom and doing this and that and the third. So just kind of tell us, how do you balance everything that you're involved in?
Man, to be honest, it's accountability for my spouse, man. She makes sure that I'm engaged because she knows that I'm engaged in all those other spaces, doing stuff for ministry, doing stuff, and but she makes sure I'm engaged with her and the kids. So she helps me balance out. She is definitely my blind side, my offensive tackle, my left guard. She definitely is one who keeps me on point with that. To be honest with you, because I'm really my context is helping other people, helping outside the house. I've always been that person. I'm make sure everybody else is okay. But she makes sure that I make sure I'm okay and that she's okay and my girls are okay. So that's really how I have balance, man. Because I'm gonna be out there, man. I'm gonna be out there live coaching West Coast Wednesdays, preaching, teaching. But she said I need a hug too. I need some love too. And your girls, what I'm saying,
Yeah.
they dating these young men. They need they need some fatherly advice.
Listen,
So
listen. I'm gonna have to, I might have to sit at your feet a little bit because I have a 14-year-old, and she's kind of cute. She is cute. She's
yeah,
pretty.
yeah,
And so,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
the young boys, they trying to attract. I'm like, all right. I'm like,
yeah.
I need you to calm down your prettiness, but not really.
And
I
then
mean,
and her
selfishly,
personality too. Her personality combined with her beauty, bro.
yeah,
Hey,
yeah,
it is what it is. The
yeah.
sooner you accept it, the sooner you'll be able to navigate, that space, bro. It's very interesting, being the dad of someone who's dating, right, a guy. It's like you don't want to tell them all the game. Like, look, I know all the game. You want them to be comfortable enough to come and talk to you.
Yeah.
So you don't want to just like, man, this dude ain't nothing. You want to tell them, well, this is what I see, and then let them experience some things for themselves, try to guard them and protect them from hurt. But man, what I've learned the most, bro, is that all you can do is give the word, give advice, and when they need to cry, they let them cry, and I hope you don't have no pistol.
Man, so listen, here's a running joke, man. Here's a running joke in my house because I always said, when she gets dating age, I'm gonna get a piece, right? And
Mhm, mhm.
maybe not any ammunition, but when young man comes over to, kind of date and pick her up, I'm just gonna be just kind of cleaning it, just kind of, just kind of
It's
making
kind of
sure, just making sure it's kind of shiny, right? Now,
yeah, yeah.
so here's the
Hey,
running joke. We were going somewhere the other day. I was like, okay, because she was in her bag. She was looking nice. I was like, God,
uh-huh.
dog it. I was like, okay, should I get a gunmetal finish or some aluminum finish or whatever? They were like, huh? I was like, I want you to think of, and they just started dying, right?
Yeah, yeah,
But that's
yeah,
but that's
yeah.
just me having to get over, my, I guess you can call it insecurity
Mm,
of dealing with that whole situation because, like I said, she has brains, she has beauty, and folks gonna be trying to holler at her. So I just have
yeah,
to come to a good understanding about how to deal with that when the time really shows up.
yeah, no doubt, man. And again, bro, for me is I learned how to when I need to be dad and when I need to be the man that she comes and divulges stuff to that seems like I'm her friend or I'm their friend. They talk to me about anything. Like I had the sex. For us to have sex talk with the boys is one thing. I had the sex talk with the girls. Y'all going off to college. You know what I'm saying? I remember. You know what I'm saying? So I had to have that conversation, and I had to be as graphic as I didn't want to be.
Right.
But with that door, it's opened up a door for them to be able to talk to me about pretty much everything. They talk to Sabrina way more, but they feel comfortable talking to me about pretty much everything, bro. Except for if somebody hurt their heart, they don't really want to talk to me about that.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So yeah, I'm gonna have to sit at your feet a little bit, but you've kind of spoken some life already, and so I appreciate it. I appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
Now here's one of our running jokes, Al. I always say you out in them streets, with your oh man, what do you say? With my oh man, it just left me. Um, I always kid you because you said you out with your person, right?
Oh, my, my
No, here
client.
it is. Here it is. No, let me say it. Every time I try to connect with you, oh man, I'm out with my client. That's what it is.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
so
man. I be man.
so kind of tell us about being a life coach and a mentor away from home, kind of what you do in your personal life. But I know you can't really give up too much, but just kind of your dealings in with your client.
Yeah. No, so no. I have a primary client, and we've been with this client for 12 years, and so we just help him navigate through his life, and he needs 24-hour care, right? So we help him navigate through his life. We don't. I mean, he has his own whip. He has his own place. He can think for himself. He can do things, but he just needs some guidance. What I mean? He's close to my age, but he'll close the club down and all sorts of things. And so I just try to guide him to have better, healthier, choices. And that's pretty much what I do, man. I'm just a big homie. That's how I have it. I call him my client, but he calls me big homie. And so that's what I try to act like in his life, man. And I get paid for it.
Absolutely.
Get paid to be a big homie.
Well, hey, it's nothing like getting paid for something that you really enjoy doing, and it sounds like because every time I talk to you, oh man, I'm hanging out with my client. I gotta be there for my client. And I just have to kind of die laughing because it's just funny. But you're all in. You're trying to help him make better choices, better decisions. So that you might not be there at one
Yep.
particular moment, but based on something that you've said or done, you're helping this person make better choices in their life, and it's going to be for
Facts.
their betterment. And you just kind of enjoy doing that. So let's kind of
Yep.
talk about the ministry, man. You're engaged over there at Metro. What's kind of one of your primary things that you're responsible for?
Oh man. Okay. Faith
Now,
Haygood. Faith Haygood. If you watch this, I'm gonna tell you what Faith Haygood told me my
hey,
role
oh,
is.
here, I'm gonna throw you a lifeline. Just give us three things that you're kind of involved in. Okay, you don't have to give us a whole litany.
No, man, I'm gonna go ahead, man. I'm West Coast Al, man. What I'm saying? I don't back down for nothing. You know what I'm saying? But my wife. Man, I'm a jack of all trade, master of none. Right? That's what I like. You see, I'm everywhere. That's just who I am. So what I do, man. Whatever fate needs me to do, right? my primary thing is, preaching and men's ministry. So those are my two primary focuses on man's ministry and preaching. That's what I do ministry wise. But my ultimate thing in ministry is really to bring the streets and the church together, bro. Like that's my passion. That's my heart's passion. My heart desire is for us to be more engaged in Vermont Square Park type of settings, right? Vermont Square Park is not going to come to Normandy Church of Christ or the Crenshaw Church of Christ, but we can go to Vermont Square Park, right? We can go to Leimert Park. You know what I mean? We can go to all these different spaces and be a part of the community, just like, the Kemetic scholars are and the Hebrew Israelites are. I believe the church need to be in those spaces, not to be confrontational, but to show that we're a part of the community and that Jesus Christ is still the answer, right? So that's my heart's desire, man. And that's why I even do West Coast Wednesdays the way that I do them. Sometimes you'll hear me talk about Jesus, God, the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit. But most times, man, you'll just hear me giving some practical stuff because a large number of my audience are not believers, right? But they know that I'm a Christian. Every now and again, they're going to get a word, where I'm going to say God or I'm going to talk about the word. But most times they just need some practical stuff. And they need to see that Pokey is still down to earth and that, he ain't just always, you know what I'm saying? Like Jesus was down to earth, bro.
Right.
Jesus was not always in the temple. He wasn't always at the, you know what I'm saying, preaching and teaching in the temple. I won't call it a mosque. In the temple, right? He was on them streets. And so that's my ministry goal, man, is to really connect the church and the streets in a more collaborative way, man, because I believe we need each other.
Absolutely. And as you were talking about West Coast Wednesday, I was, I just kind of reminded myself. I was like, you know what, I got his page up on my screen here. I can just kind of show. Now we can't hear the audio, but we can kind of show, kind of what you do and how you flow with your West Coast Wednesday. So absolutely, man. It's kind of hard to balance. Well, not. I shouldn't say that. It's once you're all in, especially as it relates to the church, you're all in. If you see a void where you think you can, fill it, you're probably, a lot of our natural inclination is to go ahead and hop in and do what we can do until the hole is filled by somebody else, right?
Yeah.
And I kind of like what you said. Being out and about in the community is very, very important for believers because. We need to show folks there's a different way. And it's not all about browbeating folks about, what their belief is,
right.
But it's definitely about being a service, helping folks, meet a need, right? And then ultimately, if the goal is to teach and baptize, then so be it. But at the same time, if they don't, then you still provided a service for the community. And that's what,
yes,
we're called to
yep.
to do, and not just be up in a building talking and singing and praying, but going out amongst the people and
yes,
doing
sir.
what we need to do. So
100%. Just like how this content that you created, this space was created during the pandemic, and so one of the things that the pandemic showed me was that after George Floyd, met his death through the hands of that police officer, we saw all these, Black Lives Matter, right? And people follow me. They'll see that I never posted hashtag Black Lives Matter for various reasons. It had nothing to do with it. Do I believe that Black Lives Matter? It had more for me to do with my moral compass in the organization. But in all these rallies and protests, I'm seeing all these different faces and people, and everybody saying this and everybody saying that. And I was like, man, when am I going to see, like the Jesus representative in them streets protesting? Because we had them. There were some millennials in the church. They was in them streets. And I was like, man, I would love to have seen that more from us, like us being there and being a part of it and carrying the sign that said Jesus Christ still can save. Jesus Christ is still here to heal. That Jesus Christ is still a God of all mankind. Like I really feel like we can do better about being in those spaces, and not necessarily saying we're down with the Black Lives Matter organization, but we down with Black lives, no matter, for sure, right?
Yeah,
So yeah, man, I saw that. It just popped out to me, and it reminded me of like Alvin, man. You got to make sure that you're doing your part, not just when you preach on Sundays or you teach a class, but you got to be consistently and constantly in these streets having conversations and making sure you're pointing people back to the cross, man.
absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, I mean that's a strong message, and we could have done a lot better with getting out there and help promoting the cause of Christ, if you will. But yeah, there's a whole bunch of lessons to be learned from that time.
Yeah.
Folks being proactive. It kind of reminded me a little bit of the '60s and the civil rights movement, and folks just really speaking up. And as believers, we kind of need to speak up too, and not just wait for a cause to rally behind or around, but we should be speaking up every single chance we get, right?
Bro. Yep.
Yeah,
Where do like where man, where are these people at now, bro? Like now that we're not, see, it was a perfect storm, right? The perfect storm where we were all sitting at home and everyone, I never watched the video. To this day, I haven't seen the video of what happened, but everyone was able to see what happened. And then, everyone responded. You had this knee jerk reaction. You can go and you can Google Churches of Christ. We all preached on something dealing with Black lives that following Sunday. I was one of those people. I preached that following Sunday after it happened. I was one of, and man, for the next couple of months, man, hey,
yeah,
Church of Christ, ministers in the Church of Christ, we're gonna all preach the same topic, right?
right.
You unified. Now it's man, the other dude just got shot in the back of the head the other day. And on top of that, Normandy and we go like I'm gonna keep going to Vermont Square Park. Vermont Square Park is not too far from the Boys and Girls Club where the Hoovers are. I mean, it's like we don't talk about that.
Yeah,
The Black Lives Matter movement didn't talk about us killing each other, because that is, both of them are problematic, but that is more problematic for me and for you, because me and you wearing this blue hat, praise God, we got some grays. They be like, "Hey, what's up, OG?" But it's dangerous in these streets, not
yeah,
just from the police officer,
yeah,
but from men who look like me and you, young men, kids who look like me and you, right? And so, it was a good rally call. We were in 2022, and ain't no protest going on, bro. Ain't nobody out there trying to say these young men. I mean, not nobody, but I'm just saying, it's like none of that stuff is happening that happened in that moment.
yeah,
And we have to pick up the mantle as a church, man. I just think, like, we talked about this a little bit. You're like, and the Black community and the African American community, like, what do we do? There's so many things to do. There are so many things. Like, what do we do? Which one do we choose?
absolutely.
We have to choose something, right? If it's going to be like, why is it that Black boys are more on the spectrum than any other? So once we deal with, so that's one thing that let's say you deal with that. Now I'm not going to go. I can't have my hands in that, and then let me go deal with the dudes in the juvenile criminal justice system
Yeah,
and try to. We need to choose what we're going to do individually as congregations. I have a whole man, bro. Look, I have a whole plan. Like, if every congregation say we're going to Crenshaw, we're going to do financial literacy. That's going to be our thing.
yeah,
That's what we're going to focus on. So if you need somebody in the community to learn financial literacy, send them to Crenshaw. Alondra, we're going to deal with gang violence. That's going to be our thing. Metro, we're going to deal with police and community interaction. Like, every church needs to take one thing,
one
and
thing.
I try to do all these other things. Take one thing, be a master at that, and then come together and collaborate to say, look what we got.
Yeah,
This is what the Lord's church looks like. So,
yeah.
man, I go on and on. Man, that's my wheelhouse right there.
No, yeah. I mean, you brought up so many good points in terms of community involvement. Folks being in the church. Church is doing a lot of things really, and instead of really focusing in on one thing, and so it's a lot to kind of comprehend. And it sounds like you got a good plan, but it's just not you. It's a whole bunch of people having a plan and actually
Man.
following through right?
Yes, sir.
Not trying to be a champion of 10 or 15 different things, but doing maybe 3 or 4 really, really good as it relates to that particular congregation, community outreach, and just trying to change mindsets. So it is a big deal. It is a big deal for the African American community, especially, you mentioned boys. I got 3 boys, and I'm sometimes I'm afraid to let my boys drive a high profile car just because, you
Yeah.
know, just because, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
and they don't understand, and so you got to have these conversations with being open, like, hey, the reason why. Oh, Dad. Oh, man. I understand. No, son. I don't think you understand, right?
Yeah.
And so, from a parental standpoint, it's a little bit more than say, just tossing the keys and be like, all right, peace out. Nah, it's
Right.
like,
Right.
where
Yeah.
you going? What neighborhood is that? Oh, let me figure. Oh,
Yeah.
okay, you cool. Or,
Right.
nah, I'll just drop you off
Yeah.
because
100%.
of what might happen.
Yep.
Right. So
Yeah.
no, man. I mean, that's a loaded conversation. That good points that you just talked about. But we definitely got to find a way to kind of get the cause of Christ out there, and let folks know His name.
Yes, sir.
You know?
Man, like, people are talking about how younger generations are, leaving the church and this and that. And I'm not just talking about the churches of Christ. This is, generally speaking. And one of the reasons why I've noticed that younger people are leaving the church is, some of them will say it's quote unquote church hurt, but it's not so much that. It's the information that they have is wrong, right? The information they have about Christ is wrong. They don't have a relationship with Christ. And so that right there will allow them to, dibble and dabble into all these other things because they want to manifest some things, or, they need some vibrations and all that kind of stuff. They're pulled away from Christ because they didn't learn Christ. Not look, we blame the church. That's at home, bro. The reason why your boys are well adjusted isn't just because they went to a youth conference. That was great. Praise God for the youth conference. That was a part of your parenting. That wasn't your parenting.
Right.
So church men and women have to own up to the fact that we, as individual parents in our households, have failed our children in getting them to have a relationship with God for themselves. Then we send them off to the university. And then when you get to that university, everything goes, right? They don't have any foundation.
Yes, sir.
And so, man, there's so many different things that we have to address and deal with. One thing, I know we got to run, man, but one thing that while you were talking about your boys, in the early '90s, man, I was introduced to Jawanza Kung Fu.
Yeah,
And as
absolutely.
man, jeez.
Yeah.
And this, bro, it's
Hey, you ain't got to tell me. I already know.
man,
I know.
yeah. Like, so when you look at that, that's the early '90s. The stuff he wrote was in the '80s, right?
Yeah.
The Conspiracy to Destroy Black Boys, volumes like 1, 2, 3, and 4, I believe, right? And then he had a couple of other books. But he wrote that stuff in the '80s. If you pick up that book today, it is relevant, and it's like he's prophetic. He's telling you what's happening in the educational system with Black boys and how it's going to impact the future, and you see it drawn out.
It's
And so,
manifesting
when you said you have 3 boys, I'm like, man, I wanted to applaud you because it's not easy raising Black boys in this society, right? In the educational system, in the neighborhood, in the church. It's not easy. And so I applaud you, bro, because I been looking at your boys like, man, they doing their thing. And you as a dad, man, are making sure that you are not just there, but you're present. Man, I'll be paying attention. I'm like, man, he's present. He's going here and going there. Like, I need some deep pockets like that.
There you go. Listen, no, man. I mean, I've kind of learned from just my relationship, my parental relationship, and so I've kind of picked up some things. Right, I learned that I need to be present. Right, no matter what, right? And sometimes it's hard, sometimes you can't, but I have to be present. And because if I'm not present, somebody else or something else might be
Yes, sir.
present, and I definitely
Facts.
don't want that. And so, of course,
Facts.
my belief is my belief, but I also want them to develop their own. And so, you hit
Yes,
the
sir.
nail right on the head in terms of young people, developing their own faith. And so, I'm hoping that all four of my children have developed and are continuing to develop, right?
Yes, sir.
And
Yes,
so
sir.
that's kind of what it's all about. Even though I have two out and two in, those who are out, I'm still, doing what I can to help foster that relationship, right?
Yes,
Because
sir.
they're 21 and 19, they begin to think and form their own things, and so
Yes, sir.
my job is to be that model, continue to be what I've continued to do what I've done for these past 21 years with the children.
Yes, sir.
And so I appreciate you, man. I'm just trying to I'm learning from my experience, and I'm trying to pass
Yes, sir.
on whether it's negative or positive. I'm still trying to
Mhm.
pass on what I've learned from my parental involvement with my parents. So
Yes, sir. Are you
it
doing a
you know it, it you
stand-up
know
job, brother?
thank you, man. Thank you, man. Mom Dukes was super dope, and my dad at times was dope too. And so
Mhm.
no disrespect to him, but I've learned
Right.
some things while he wasn't present. And so
Yeah.
for me, I have to be present with my children, because that's very, very
Yes, sir.
important to me. It's important to my wife that she see, that I'm present. And like I said, sometimes I can't be in four different places at one time. But if I can, you know, try to be there, that'll kind of calm the seas, right? And they'll
Yes, sir.
understand. They understand that dad is definitely doing, and you're the same way, I'm sure. Your kids, your daughters know that dad is, doing what he needs to do, just to be present.
Yes, sir. 100%. I had to grow in that space. At first, I thought it was just provide.
Yeah,
I was a great provider.
yeah,
I would come home and I'd be like, man, I'm going to the room, closing my
yeah,
door and watching sports.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Right.
yeah.
And then I start to, having girls, man, I had to start watching like Drill Team. I don't know what that show was, man, that movie, man. I had to start watching stuff like that, man. But I was like, okay. And so now, like, even The Walking Dead, I would never watch that show, but my daughter loved it.
Right.
So I started watching it so that we can have something to talk about. Right.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Um, so yeah, man, it's definitely, man, a continual growing experience being a parent, especially of adult children, man. But I applaud you, man, for this space and what I see you doing, man. You represent well, man. You represent the Dodgers and the Lakers and I will say the Raiders, but
Nope. See, here you go. See, you gonna make me hold on,
I don't
hold
know
on.
I don't know how we let you get to Dallas. I don't know how we let you get to Dallas, man. I don't know how we let that happen. But yeah, man, nah, man. I appreciate it because man, look, you ain't never been like, no disrespect to the churchy people. We need churchy people, man. But you
Absolutely.
ain't never been, you've never been that guy, man. You've always been approachable, humble, down to earth, funny. You made it. You made it okay to be a Christian and not be. You're a little square, but you ain't all squared up.
Right, absolutely. No, I mean, I'm over here geeking out. Like I said, I kind of self-taught, taught myself how to live stream, right? And so I was I'm still kind of geeking out on some of this stuff, man. I'm just like, oh man, you
Uh-huh.
got a who? Oh man, I wonder if I can get that. But I mean, it takes all
All
kinds,
right.
man. I mean, there's some things that you're kind of all in, that I'll be like, oh, what, huh? When you're hanging out with your client.
Yeah.
But no, man,
Yeah.
I appreciate it, man. And likewise, I kind of look at your social media spot, and you're all over the place too. And so it's like iron sharpening iron without really sharpening iron. You know what I'm saying? Not really having that
Yep.
real
What up?
connection, because we're in two different spaces. And so I think that's probably
Facts.
one
Yep.
of the best things that you do well is you kind of help sharpen people. And so reason why I said that, as we kind of begin to wrap up, I'm over here on your page and I'm looking for, here it is right here. So let's just kind of talk about your collaboration with yourself and Vince. And
Oh,
you
okay.
have something going called Let's Talk. So go ahead and let's kind of talk about what you do with Vince Ford.
All right. So Vince Ford is he's a senior minister at Genesee Avenue. I mean, our connection is through the church, man. Man, I love the church, man. With all our dysfunctions, man. If it wasn't for the church, I wouldn't know you. I saw Leela and Arnika and Christian pop on. I wouldn't know these people, man. And you guys are amazing people. But me and Vince, we met at a youth conference that he was throwing in Arizona years ago, and we just clicked up, man. We just vibed, man. I know we don't believe in signs, but he's a Cancer and I'm a Cancer, so we just it's just we just vibe, man. And so our relationship has grown from a best friend. So we just chop it up all the time on the natural. He was like, "Hey, bro, let's do something in this pandemic space. Let's just talk. Let's just we everybody know we're preachers. Everybody know we love God. So we don't have to deal with that. That's who we are. But let's talk about real things, relevant things. Let's talk about women's issues, right? Let's talk about trauma. Let's talk about childcare. Let's talk about whatever it is that we chop it up with about on a regular. Just me and him on the phone. Let's chop it up in front of people so people can see that preachers have real conversations too, and we're informed about things outside of the scope that we place ourselves in as just biblically understanding people. That we can talk about culture, we can talk about music, we can talk about life and death, and we can talk about domestic violence, and we can talk about women's histories. We can talk about all these things. And so we just said let's just get on there and just talk. Just like me and you, man. There wasn't no script. We just talking, and
Yeah,
that's
just
what me and Vince do, man. Every Monday.
absolutely. No, yeah, we just hopped on, and like I said, I had some things going down today, and I had to take a little nap. And when I woke up, it was time to hop on. And so, of course, I could have wrote down all my little questions, right, like a true interviewer would do. But I kind of had them in my head, and I kind of didn't want to be held down to, I just kind of want the conversation just to flow,
Yes, sir.
right?
Yes, sir.
And but no, that's cool, man. So it's every Monday at four p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
No, every Monday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 6 p.m. Best Coast time.
Got you. Okay. Okay.
Yep.
All
Every
right.
Monday on Instagram Live.
IG Live. Okay.
Yep.
So if folks wanted to find you, if folks wanted to reach out and was like, oh man, I need one of those dope sweatshirts, or I want to, you know, talk to this brother, or see what his West Coast Wednesday clips are all about, man. Why don't you tell the
Mhm.
people where they can find you?
All right. Well, on Facebook, which is my Facebook is my wheelhouse. It's my primary my forum that I use. But Facebook is Alvin Edington Jr. with one D, Edington Jr. On Instagram is A Edington Jr. One D Edington Jr. That's Instagram, and then on YouTube it's I think it's Minister Alvin Edington Jr. on YouTube, and those are three places that you can find me. You can inbox me, you can DM me, talk about anything. I'm open. I'm transparent. Yeah, my you can be one of my clients.
That's funny. That's funny. That is funny. We one of the clients.
Yeah.
No, I think you
Oh,
are.
yeah.
I think you are. Hold on. All right. Yeah, I think you are on YouTube. Let me see. Let me just check my notifications real quick. Um, I think I did see your subscription, and you are on here as Minister Alvin Edison Jr. Yes,
Yes, sir. Yep.
absolutely, man.
That's me. And you'll find the West Coast Wednesdays. You'll find a couple of my sermons on there. to see if I really know what I'm talking about when I'm preaching. Yeah, and yeah, man, feel free. Likes, share, subscribe. And if you don't like, share, or subscribe, just look at it and try to get some type of encouragement. Man,
Absolutely. Hey, listen. I'm still new in this game, man. We started a couple of years ago with the pandemic, and so I've been slowly, like I said, just looking at videos here and there. Hopping in a Facebook group here and there, just trying to, become a better content creator because I think we're having a conversation pre our interview, and you were like content creators. I was like, oh no, bro, you a content creator. You going live on IG and doing your thing. No, you definitely a content creator. So, you know, don't sell yourself short. You know what I'm saying?
yes, sir.
We
Yes,
just
sir.
we definitely we definitely gonna help you level up though. You know what I'm saying?
I appreciate that.
You
I appreciate you. You know what I'm saying?
know.
I really do. Seriously. Hey, you guys, Vince, man. I'm like, man, I need to go on YouTube and figure out how to do. Man. I'm like, I want a split screen video. All these great ideas I have in my head, I
Listen,
can't do them because I don't know what the heck I'm doing, bro.
listen. I'm gonna go ahead and tell you what I'm now. Are you a Mac or PC person?
I'm neither.
Okay. Okay.
No, oh
Okay.
man,
All
that's
right.
yeah,
No, hey, that's a good place to start. I mean, I can,
right.
so,
Man, I can build. You can build me up from the ground up. You can start me from scratch. You can lead
man,
me to wherever you want me to go, and I'll follow.
listen, we could definitely help you level up, your live streams. You can do split screen. You can incorporate a different, a small camera. I mean, we can do some things. If you got a little space, it look like you
Bro,
got a little, you got a little office space right there, right? A little studio.
oh man, I have man. I ain't gonna tell you. There's a lot of things going on.
Well, listen. Here. I am actually in a closet, so it's all good. But you wouldn't know that.
Okay,
I'm in a
and
closet.
I did not know that.
See,
All right, all right, yeah, all right, R. Kelly.
not that kind of closet, bro. Oh man, you're funny. Hey, so we gonna
Yes,
finish up
sir.
then. Hey, I'm gonna send you back over to the green room real quick. Let me finish up the
Yes,
live
sir.
stream and then we'll connect. But I appreciate you having on, man. Just kind of chopping it up. We definitely got to do this again.
For
But I,
sure,
I
man.
appreciate you,
This
man.
is
I
fun.
appreciate you, really, really do.
All love, no chaser. You already know, Jimmy.
Absolutely. All right, so just hang tight. Let me finish up the show.
Okay.
Hey guys, so man, that was Uncle Al, and I appreciate you guys just watching and being involved and being engaged. And so wonderful human being. He's all in with his client. He's all in with his family, all in with his church family. And so he's just a down, good to earth brother who's just wants to do better, wants a lot for the community. And just kind of really, really cool to have him come on the live stream as I kick off my 8 episodes of West Coast Wednesday. So that was the originator, the founder, the creator of West Coast Wednesday, Alvin Edington Jr. So just appreciate him hopping on. And as we wrap up, of course, I'm using Ecamm Live, and Ecamm Live is a wonderful piece of live streaming software. You can find a link to my affiliate link in the description below if you're watching on YouTube. And so, again, let me go ahead and close this thing out before I start to ramble. And if you haven't done so already, if you're on YouTube, you can go ahead and leave a comment, and you can subscribe. Also, hit that notification bell. That way you'll be notified anytime I drop either a brand new video or I'm hopping on a live stream. That notification bell will definitely do wonders for you. All right. So again, on behalf of Alvin Edington, Uncle Al, I appreciate you. You guys have a wonderful day, and I will see you in the next video. All right. This is Mr. Riley coming to you live from the West Coast, the best coast, the West Side. Peace out.